Welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back to the channel, guys. Of course, following last night's game against Dynamo Kyiv, a game that Barcelona won by 2-1, we are going to be talking more, though, about that performance. And in particular, I'm going to be looking today at your questions, at what you want answered, because I think after that game, that kind of display that I think left us all feeling a bit flat, there's plenty to unpack and there's plenty to discuss. So let's get right to it. But if we first of all start with Ronald Koeman, in particular his reaction following last night's game, and I was really interested to see what Koeman said after that kind of performance. I didn't know whether he was going to play it down, whether he was just going to focus on the fact that we've got 3 out of 3 wins in the Champions League, or if he would be honest about what he saw. And this right here is what Koeman had to say. He said, "I'm happy with the result, but I'm not satisfied with some phases of our play." He said, "We were lucky that we had Ter Stegen tonight." He said, "I think we started the match well, we took an early lead, and then we had the second clear chance," and I think there he's talking about Griezmann's chance in front of goal, and he said from there we lost control and they had a lot of good chances. He said it's with thanks to Mark tonight, who's been phenomenal in goal. He said that we've held on for this win. Our performance without the ball, it was not very good. And I think that's interesting that Koeman is openly admitting there were several phases of our game that he was not happy with, and in particular their emphasis on our work without the ball. And what that means there is that hard work. It means pressing from the front. It means the way that you organise yourself when you lose the ball, and exactly the same as well when you're in possession, trying to make space there with your movement as well. So Koeman not really happy with what he's seeing there in terms of the team structure. And he went on to say Dynamo played really well and caused us real problems in the game. He said in general, defensively, we've been good before this match. He said in no game before this has an opponent caused us as many problems as Dynamo did. He said we must improve, though, on our game again without the ball. And that's probably there where I'd start to disagree with Ronald Koeman. I think, to be honest, yes, defensively yesterday we were breached many times, and it was probably the game where we conceded most clear-cut chances, but we have seen this coming. Against Alaves, again, it was that ball over the top. Again, it was an easy pass in behind, and suddenly then they were really causing us problems. It was the same sort of story as well, to be honest, against Ferencvaros, even though we only conceded 1 goal in that game. You remember the ball over the top that caused Gerard Piqué to get a red card. So I think even though maybe this would have been our worst game defensively, you couldn't really sit back and say, you know what, we didn't see this coming, because the warning signs have been there. And of course, one of those players at the heart of our defence last night was none other than Frenkie de Jong, who I think when we all saw the lineup there, we were surprised to see him in that position. We were wondering there whether there was a problem for Clement Longley. And of course, you guys are wondering, is he an option to play there? Should we be seeing de Jong at centre-back? Does it really work? And the first thing that I would say is, there was rumours coming out of Barcelona just before kick-off that Clement Longley there had discomfort. He was left out as a precaution, so de Jong there was at centre-back as an emergency. But what I would say to that is, well, Longley came on, 75 minutes gone in the game, no real reason to put him on if there was a problem, if there was a bit of precaution going on. But no, Longley was subbed on in this game, and for that reason, I think yesterday, Ronald Koeman started de Jong because he wanted to. He did that out of choice, and I don't get that. I honestly don't understand why you would actively there take out one of your best, if not the best midfield player that we have there to put him at centre-back. It doesn't make any sense. As a stopgap, as somebody there in an emergency situation, he can, push come to shove, play at centre-back. But he shouldn't be an option out of choice, because I look at the second half there in particular, there was a moment at 1-0, it was an easy ball there, played in behind our defence, and this just comes down here to whether or not you've got those defensive instincts. De Jong, I don't even think he knows the forward is there, to be perfectly honest, and if he does know he's there, he's easily outmuscled, and Ter Stegen there is called into what I felt was his best save of the game, and it could have easily been 1-1 in that moment, and those moments, undoubtedly, they will cost you. And it's just even more disappointing, because when Ronald Koeman was brought into this job, we were all thinking, we were all united in the fact that yes, de Jong, he's going to be played perfectly in his position. De Jong here knows that Koeman plays in that 4-2-3-1, he's nicely suited to it, same sort of system that he played at Ajax, but as of right now, it hasn't quite worked out in that way. De Jong is playing very regularly, but Koeman as of yet is still not really getting the best out of him, and playing him at centre-back, That's not helpful. Which brings me on then to Sergio Busquets, because many people, in a response to that there, the fact that De Jong was played at centre-back, and as a result, Busquets then was drafted again into the starting lineup in midfield, many people are saying, why does Koeman continue to play Sergio Busquets from the start of games? He seems very, very reluctant there to actually put him on the bench. It's like he really, really doesn't want to do that. And you look at the stats here, and there's every reason to be a bit concerned, because Sergio Busquets has featured in every single game of the season under Ronald Koeman so far. 9 out of 9 games that he's appeared in. He's played there for 607 minutes in total. That's the 5th most of any player in the Barcelona first team in terms of outfield players. And it's a total there that's actually double the amount of minutes, more than double, that Miralem Pjanic has played this season. And that's the problem. I think right now you're looking at Busquets. Last season under Setien and Valverde too, he was struggling. His form wasn't great. He wasn't looking confident. He wasn't looking at his best there at the base of a midfield 3. And I think now you take him there and put him in a 2, a 4-2-3-1, and I think it's even worse. I think this is a formation there that doesn't really suit the characteristics of Busquets, and I think when you're only playing with 2 midfielders in that holding role, you need athleticism. And it's not something that at Barcelona you've always been crying out for, but in this system, in Koeman's lineup, you do need there 2 players who can get about the field, who can recover in behind, who can help you defensively, and who can get forward and press too. And I just don't think, at this stage of Busquets' career, the way that he's playing right now, you can't see he's going to be an undisputed starter. That's not what any of us we're expecting. Finally though, of course, we have to address the big topic that's come out of this game, and in particular when you're looking at social media, there are plenty of comments here circulating a certain Lionel Messi in a situation at the very end of yesterday's game. Many of you guys are also asking me here about Messi's work off the ball in terms of pressing, closing down and tracking back as well. Is Messi working hard enough? And is there a reason behind the fact here he may not be running as much as he usually does? Now the first thing I want to point out is this clip here that I can't show, obviously I'm going to show you screenshots, but this has been circulating on social media. It's gone viral. What you will have seen lacked context, because this right here, if you didn't know, was in the final 8 seconds of the game. Time was running out, the whistle was very nearly about to go, and yes, Messi, as you can see, makes absolutely no attempt to go and close down the ball. He doesn't press, he doesn't even try and tackle, he just watches the defender go past him, and I can accept that's not good enough. Even in the final 8 seconds, we were only winning by 1 goal. It was a close game, we were by no means comfortable, and I think you'd look to any player, not singling out Messi here, but any player in the team in that sort of situation, just try and get the ball back, try and work there for your team. That's the very least that I would demand. What I would say though, for those people who are ridiculing Messi, those fans from elsewhere who are saying, look, you know, Messi, what is he doing? He doesn't want to be at Barcelona. I don't think there's any reason to look further into this, because if you watch Barcelona games and if you watch Messi regularly, you know this is not a rare occurrence. This is not something that he's just started doing because he hates being here or anything like that. This is something that he's been doing now for season upon season. I think this season, once again, he's not really interested too much in pressing, although he will do that sometimes. I think it's fair to say Messi in some games will start running, will start closing down opponents. He does do it sometimes, but overall, he's not really somebody who's going to go and do that anymore. At the stage of the career that he's at, that's why I've always said he needs to be at the point of our attack. He needs to be that most advanced player, because you can't really rely on him to keep his shape, to press as one as we need to do to be in the right organisation as a team. I would also say, for people who are saying, you know, look at this, you know, Messi, he wants to leave, you know, he hates Barcelona now. Just think back to the game against Bayern Munich. You know, this is not a unique situation. I remember many times in that game, David Alaba picking up the ball and was just able to step out of defence, because not only just Messi, but also Suarez were just standing around and watching. He was able to step out, step into midfield and start Bayern's attacks time and time again, and that was one of the biggest problems. Now, in losing Suarez, many people will say, you know, we've lost our number 9, but what you've also lost there is somebody who was doing very similar to what Messi is doing. Now we only have one player in the team who effectively is standing around inactive when we're not in possession of the ball, and I think that's a good thing, because now you've got 10 other players who should be organised, who should be working to counteract that. And the very fact is, if Messi comes off yesterday's game, scores a hat-trick, he's banging them in, nobody talks about this. Nobody says a word about Messi's work rate, because yes, it probably should be better. Yeah, Messi should work harder. He should probably run more. But usually, the best player on the pitch it's usually Messi. It's usually him providing that goals, and if it was, we wouldn't be talking about it. The key for Messi is to get back to that level. He has been under par. He hasn't scored from open play. He's still lacking, I feel, in a bit of confidence. He needs to get that back for the good of himself and the good of the team. And of course, this Saturday, just like I said yesterday, against Betis, it's a massive game for everyone. So please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. What did you make yesterday of our performance against Dynamo Kyiv? What would you really put it down to? Would you put the blame there on Ronald Koeman? Would you put the blame on the players? Or was it simply a good display from Dynamo? And of course, their goalkeeper on the night was sensational. Let me know all of those thoughts down below. We'll be talking very soon about that Barcelona versus Real Betis game. It's gonna be big, and I will see you for all of that build-up. Thanks for watching, guys, and thank you for your support. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.